Hello and welcome to the No One Asked You podcast. This series, I am once again joined by my wonderful co-host, that darn kitty.
Dorkus and I are sharing our experience reading The Way of Kings for the first time. Each episode we will summarize what we've read and discuss the experience along the way.
This is Storming the Archives, The Way of Kings, and today we discuss Chapter 69.
Chapter 69. Sorry. Sorry, we're 12.
Yep, this is a true statement.
But you were thinking it.
We start off this chapter with a bit of artwork.
Yes, very cool.
Yes, a man in a loincloth type thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Holding up a sword, which seems to be radiating light.
He's also got a halo himself.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, is that a halo-y thing, or is that part of the architecture in the back? It looks like a halo-y thing.
Yeah, it does. And people are bowing down to him.
Yeah, so some of them seem to have the friar haircut, but he himself appears to be bald. The bald had me wondering if it was Shin.
Yes.
In some way, but I don't think
that's immediately what I thought of. Yeah, I know. That's immediately what I thought of when I saw it. I was like, oh, it's Shin. Okay. But we've got a caption.
Charcoal rubbing of a relief of Nalan Elin, carved on the wall of His Majesty Elakar Kolin's palace at the Shattered Plains, circa 1173. Where have we heard Elin before?
I don't know. It just sounds Kolini.
Oh my gosh. Who said bearer of all agonies?
It might have been a death rattle.
Yeah.
Sounds like one.
Talenalat Elin?
Elin might be like a marker of some sort, like a what do you call it? A title.
Epitaph?
Thing? Yeah,
the strong, the wise?
I don't know.
The sun?
It might be something that comes after a...
It was the first bridge run. Okay. Holy shit, I found it really quickly. Wow.
Yeah.
After so many hours breathing in the stuffy confines beneath the bridge, running in the front was almost relaxing. Why had they given such a wonderful position to a newcomer? Talenalat Ilin, bearer of all agonies, said the man to his right, voice horrified. It's going to be a bad one. They're already lined up. It's going to be a bad one.
Okay, that's what you remembered.
Yeah.
When I did a search, it's Dalinar and Renarin. It's in chapter 18. Dalinar and Renarin passed a group of stonemasons carefully cutting a scene of Nalan Elin, emitting sunlight, the sword of retribution held over his head.
Wait, where was this?
So this is in chapter 18, and it's literally them. They saw the people carving that.
Interesting.
Maybe it's for us to realize that it was 11. It's another clue or another confirmation that 1173 is the year we're currently in.
Yeah. Cool. And then we get to the death rattle.
Yeah, I need to get to it. Just hold up.
69. Justice.
Yeah.
All is withdrawn for me. I stand against the one who saved my life. I protect the one who killed my promises. I raise my hand. The storm responds. Tana Tanev, 1173, 18 seconds pre-death, a dark-eyed mother of 4 in her 62nd year.
I stand against the one who saved my life. I protect the one who killed my promises.
So, I mean, my mind goes to Dalinar standing in opposition to Kaladin in defense of Sadeas in some way.
Yeah, I protect the one who killed my promises. Yeah, it's because it's very strange. We're thinking of the one who killed my promises would be Sadeas, or if it was I stand against the one who saved my life, that would be like Sadeas standing against Dalinar. I protect the one who killed my promises. Who's the one who killed my promises? Interesting. Again, it's always like we can apply them in always creative ways. And a mother of 4 in her 62nd year, so it's like sounds like a really manly thing, but it doesn't really matter who's dying. They land up saying these things.
Yeah.
And we've got I raise my hand, the storm responds. Is that the storm responding because you have power over it, or are we talking about an army? There's just
I do note that the guy is raising his hand in the artwork.
This is true.
Sort of. I mean, he's raising his sword more specifically.
Mhm.
Hmm. And we get a Navani POV apparently.
Mhm.
Nice. Neat. Maybe this will make me like her a bit more.
Now this is blind, guys. Just by the way, that's why there's no summary. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's blind. Totally forgot to mention that. I'm sure we mentioned it last episode.
yeah.
Navani pushed her way past the guards, ignoring their protests and the calls of her attending ladies. She forced herself to remain calm. She would remain calm! Exclamation point. So she's
she's remaining calm, guys.
she's probably heard.
Yeah.
What she had heard was just rumor. It had to be. Yeah, she's heard.
Yeah, she's hurt, and she's just trying to find out more information, and you kind of hope it's bull. Obviously, you know it's true, but you don't want it to be. She's in that place.
I'm gonna be really mad if we don't get Dalinar back at the camp until the very end of this chapter.
Yeah, I feel like we might not even get him back at the camp yet. So
Hmm.
I hope not. I hope we do get it. Like, let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the older she grew, the worse she became at maintaining a bright lady's proper tranquility. She hastened her step through Sadius's war camp. Soldiers raised hands toward her as she passed, either to offer her aid or to demand she halt. She ignored both. They never dare lay a finger on her. Being the king's mother gained one a few privileges.
I can just imagine the look on her face as well. Like, do not mess with this woman. Like, they're trying to tell her to stop or whatever. She's just like, this is Yasna's mom,
Hell hath no fury.
guys. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm just the person who birthed Yasna is walking through the camp angry and trying to keep calm. I'm not. I think this is a formidable woman. Okay, so just don't. Just stay out of her way. And like, I'm just seeing these her ladies as well, trying to like be like Navani, whatever. No, she's. I don't know if she's gonna keep calm, and I don't want her to.
I don't want her to either.
Yeah.
The camp was messy and poorly laid out. Pockets of merchants, whores, and workers made their homes in shanties built on the leeward sides of barracks. Drippings of hardened creme hung from most leeward eaves, like trails of wax left to pour over the side of a table. It was a distinct contrast to the neat lines and scrubbed buildings of Dalinar's war camp.
Yes. Scum and villainy. This is it.
Indeed.
In Sadius's camp.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the man who betrays Dalinar. Okay. Oh, I hate him so much.
Yeah. And I also think we're getting a little bit of character
Mhm.
in what she notices here, in the way she notices these
Yes.
things.
Yeah, she notices it and she judges it. She's judging you hard, Sadius, and it's not just because you've just betrayed Dalinar, it's because she notices your camp is rancid, boy.
Yeah.
He will be fine.
She told herself.
He'd better be fine.
It was a testament to her disordered state that she barely considered constructing a new street pattern for Sadius in her head. She made her way directly to the staging area and arrived to find an army that hardly looked as if it had been to battle. Soldiers without any blood on their uniforms, men chatting and laughing, officers walking down lines and dismissing the men squad by squad. Man, they're
Ugh,
not even
it's the worst.
pretending it was a retreat.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, they're not even pretending, and it just makes you realize again that, like, okay, so we've got Dalinar, the leader, and his men are actually we've been shown that his men are good too. Okay, or they were influenced by their leader to be better men. I'm sure that there are a-holes all over the place, but
Mm-hmm.
you do get the impression that Dalinar's men are held to a higher standard, so they're actually better men. Whereas here with Sadius as well, because of their leader, that's exactly what they're like. They have no shame.
Yeah.
either.
Oh, but then I see this next line. That should have relieved her. This didn't look like a force that had just suffered a disaster. Instead, it made her even more anxious. She's gonna put two and two together.
Hmm.
It sounds like she doesn't know it was a betrayal yet, but she
Yes,
will
she
put it
doesn't.
together.
Mm. Yeah, so she's thinking, oh no, Dalinar's gone down. That's basically all she's heard is that Dalinar is in trouble and the battle's been a disaster.
Yeah,
That's what she's heard because that's. But now she's seeing and she's definitely going to put two and two together very quickly and being very annoyed.
yeah. Sadeas, in unmarred red shard plate, was speaking with a group of officers in the shade of a nearby canopy. She stalked up to the canopy, but here a group of guards managed to bar her way, forming up shoulder to shoulder while one went to inform Sadeas of her arrival. Unmarred. Yeah, I know
Mm-hmm.
I already said it, but they're not even trying.
Yeah, you didn't even like stumble or like okay hit me with some mud or what. No, nothing.
Navani folded her arms impatiently. Perhaps she should have taken a palanquin as her attending ladies had suggested. Several of them, looking beleaguered, were just arriving at the staging area. Ah, you called it, Kitty.
They're running after her and all of that. No, she mentioned them. She mentioned them like trying to call her,
Yeah.
and she carried on.
A palanquin would be faster in the long run, they had explained, as it would leave time for messengers to be sent so Sadeas could receive her.
Yeah, wait, Sadius doesn't need to have time to consider. Okay, he doesn't
Yeah.
deserve formal requests because he could have put turned her away. Now she's standing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her.
Once she had obeyed such proprieties, she could remember being a young woman, playing the games expertly, delighting in ways to manipulate the system. What had that gotten her? A dead husband whom she'd never loved, and a privileged position in court that amounted to being put out to pasture. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, the husband you never loved, that was, you just had to do it. So pretty bad for you that you never even learned to love him. Jeez.
Yeah. So, should have gone with Dalinar.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Gavilar was king, and it probably would have been difficult for Navani and Dalinar to get together when Gavilar decided that he wanted to be with Navani.
Yeah, yeah. He really she had to. She's talking about how she could play the system, whatever, but the system got her. The system is exactly why she married Gavilar
Yeah.
because he was the choice. You marry the king, you become the queen. Hello, let's go.
But did she make that choice because she wanted to be queen? It seems like because she's
She was high
lamenting the
enough.
love now, but it's like
Mm,
I would have, I think, less sympathy for her if I thought she made her choice because she wanted to be queen, not because she wanted love. And I would have more sympathy with her if she did genuinely love Gavilar. It's just, it went southward after years of marriage, kind of a thing.
mhm.
But I don't think it explicitly says anywhere that she specifically married Gavilar to be queen. So,
It just made sense though, and I guess also Dalinar. It looked like Dalinar was receding and going away from her, so
mhm.
that could be why she chose him. It's like, well, why not? Because he's a good enough man. And yes, there is also the Gavilar of it, where he gets what he wants. So, um,
I mean, it
yeah.
does say she was playing the games expertly, which insinuates a likelihood that she did make that choice specifically to be queen
Mhm.
rather
But
than
she
love.
did
But I
have,
would really
yeah.
like that spelled out for me before I render
Mhm.
my own judgment of her character.
I don't, yeah, I wonder, but there is the factor that we've been exposed to that she also thought Dalinar suddenly hated her.
Yeah,
So there's that as well. So
true,
it's
pushing
it's
her
not
away.
just that she could choose between the two. She could choose between love with Dalinar and power with Gavilar. So she chose Gavilar. It's more like, well, Dalinar is no longer in play, so I suppose I'll just take what I can get.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What would Sadeas do if she just started screaming? The king's own mother bellowing like an axe hound whose antenna had been twisted. She considered it as the soldier waited for a chance to announce her to Sadeas. From the corner of her eye, she noticed a youth in a blue uniform arriving in the staging area, accompanied by a small honor guard of 3 men. It was Renarin, for once bearing an expression other than calm curiosity. Wide-eyed and frantic, he hurried up to Navani. I heard you laugh in the middle
Oh,
of that, Kitty, and now I heard you
I
all.
was just laughing. No, I was just laughing at Navani's intrusive thoughts. Like, you know what? I should just scream. Yeah, let's go. Just one of those. Like sometimes if you, I've done that when like standing in a line and I'm like, oh, imagine if I just screamed. You know, one of those intrusive thoughts. But no. And yeah, poor Renarin. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is what we would have if we had no surviving Dalinar and everything. Remember, we were just like, oh, Renarin's left. You know, he's left to
Yeah.
it, and mm.
Mashallah, he pled in his quiet voice. Please, what have you heard?
Sadeas's army returned without your father's army. There is talk of a rout, though it doesn't look as if these men have been through one.
Good noticing, Navani.
So it's like, yeah, sure. Well, this is the official story, but yeah, that doesn't look. All of them. It's not even like the lower guys look like they fought or anything. Everybody is shining essentially.
Mm-hmm. Casual.
Yeah, they went on a parade essentially. They went for a little bit of a march and then they walked away.
Yep. She glared at Sadeas, giving serious contemplation to throwing a fit. Fortunately, he finally spoke with the soldier and then sent him back. You may approach, Brightness, the man said, bowing to her.
About time.
She growled, shoving past and passing underneath the canopy. Renarin joined her, walking more hesitantly. Good, Renarin got in too. Brightness, Navani, Sadeas said, clasping his hands behind his back, imposing in his crimson plate. I had hoped to bring you the news at your son's palace. I suppose that a disaster like this is too large to contain. I express my condolences at the loss of your brother.
Just, okay. Just, oh, yeah, it's done. Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess, oh, it's such a disaster. We see you, bro. We're here. We can see that you did not do anything. This is not a disaster, you piece of creme.
You are untouched.
Oh.
Your crimson plate is untouched.
And Renarin is right there. Look at, oh, Renarin.
Renarin gasped softly. Navani steeled herself, folding her arms, trying to quiet the screams of denial and pain that came from the back of her mind. This was a pattern. She often saw patterns in things. In this case, the pattern was that she could never possess anything of value for long. It was always snatched from her just when it began to look promising. Now that's a very sad belief statement.
Yeah, that hurts. That's also how you get trust issues. That's how you're just like she can never let herself be happy. That's the kind of person that can never let themselves be happy because they're always scared of losing it. As soon as you start being happy, that's when you go, oh, something bad's gonna happen. So
yeah, and then the toxic trait that follows from that is you hold too hard or you push too hard to maintain what you have.
Or you push too hard, or you even push it away.
Or that.
I don't know what she's like because you could push it away. It's like, well, I'll leave you before you leave me, kind of thing. But either way, it's always snatched away from her just when it began to look promising. It's just she can never be happy for too long.
Yeah.
Quiet.
She scolded herself.
You will explain,
She said to Sadeas, meeting his gaze. She'd practiced that look over the decades and was pleased to see that it discomfited him.
Death glare. Yes, girl, go. That's all we have, really. Okay, we can't fight you, but we will have looks of death on our face. Okay.
Yep.
If looks could kill, that's what we're the ones that create that. Okay.
I'm sorry, Brightness, Sadeas repeated, stammering.
Good. Stammer.
Yeah. The Parshendi overwhelmed your brother's army. It was folly to work together. Our change in tactics was so threatening to the savages that they brought every soldier they could to this battle, surrounding us.
And so you left Dalinar.
We fought hard to reach him, but the numbers were simply overpowering. We had to retreat lest we lose ourselves as well. I would have continued fighting, save for the fact that I saw your brother fall with my own eyes, swarmed by Parshendi with hammers. He grimaced. They began carrying away chunks of bloodied shardplate as prizes. Barbaric monsters. So it's
Ugh.
very, very interesting that Sadeas tells this lie, because as
This
soon
is
as
true.
Dalinar steps back,
Mm-hmm.
outright
It's
lie. Like he can't
outright
even.
lie.
Like at
Yeah.
that point, it becomes clear that
There's no plausible deniability.
yeah,
There's no, oh, well, he was being overwhelmed, I had to retreat. It's no, he's saying exactly, he was dead, he's dead.
yeah,
So that's it. And you said you saw him fall. All of this. I love this. Yes, hang yourself, Sadius. Enjoy. Piece of
yes,
crap. That's why I agree with you now. I'm even more desperate to have Dalinar return right now.
yeah,
Like, I want that reveal, please.
yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a while in the sense that if Sadeas
Mm,
just got back to camp, the rest are
yeah,
probably still fighting and then still
yeah.
triaging, which makes
It's
me
still a long
afraid that
way.
he's not gonna get back by the end of this chapter, but I need
Yeah.
him to be back.
Like we can do a time jump, guys. Please.
Navani felt cold, numb. How could this happen? After finally making that stone-headed man see her as a woman rather than as a sister. And now, she set her jaw against the tears.
I don't believe it. Yes, don't believe it, Navani, until you see the body, like, uh, can you imagine that,
Yeah,
that you just never truly know, and then, but yeah.
I understand that the news is difficult. Sadeas waved for an attendant to fetch her a chair. I wish I had not been forced to bring it to you. Dalinar and I, well, I have known him for many years, and while we did not always see the same sunrise, I considered him an ally and a friend. He cursed softly, looking eastward. They will pay for this. I will see that they pay.
Yes, that is. Yes.
The
Okay. You know
act.
what's
He's
fun? Yeah.
he's laying it on so thick.
He is laying it on so thick, and it also just shows how stupid he thinks Navani is as well. But how stupid he thinks everyone is, actually. It's not just Navani. He just thinks everyone, and also just how powerful he thinks he is as well, that he can just say things and everybody will believe them, and even if they doubt, they're not going to take action. He is just so sure within himself, and he's like starting his campaign of they will pay for this, like renewed vigor to have some sort of fight or whatever. Yeah, I hate him so much.
Yeah,
But this makes me what the idea of just the words "they will pay for this." I'm like, yes, you will pay, Sadius. You will pay. Yes, that's what I want
yep.
to see.
He seemed so earnest that Navani found herself wavering.
No, he seems so earnest. Come on, Navani.
Yeah, it's funny coming off the heels of you and I saying he's laying it on so thick.
Yeah, yeah. Like I suppose the pathological liar is just pretty believable. Hmm.
Yeah. Poor Renarin, pale-faced and wide-eyed, seemed stunned beyond the means to speak. When the chair arrived, Navani refused it, so Renarin sat, earning a glance of disapproval from Sadeas. Renarin
Get out
grasped
of
his
here,
head in his
Sadius.
hands. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just so annoyed with Sadius. Like,
he's a boy.
yeah, he's a boy, and his dad. You've just told him that his dad has just died. He hasn't
Sadeas
said
isn't
anything.
trying to make a move on Navani, is he?
No, no,
Okay,
I don't think so.
okay. But I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I just that he's just. We haven't heard anything about Adolin.
Hmm,
Oh, has he said Adolin fell too? But then, yeah, Renarin is suitably distraught, and you're like, "Ooh, that's disapproving." But
hmm.
I suppose, yeah, you're taking the lady's seat.
Yeah,
But yeah, also a glance of disapproval. Renarin got. Oh yes, another thing that you were saying. Oh, God, I missed it now. Anyway, when it comes back to me, I'll tell you
cool.
about Sadius. Yeah.
Usually it's me with the one
Oh,
dropping
the
things.
it's the move making a move on Navani. I think maybe he would find that not a tactical. advantage because it would probably upset Elakar. Maybe. I don't know.
But
Maybe
there would
that's
be
what the
something so
consideration.
pathological about it, though.
Hmm. Yeah, it would be great if if he went and now just started hitting on Earth.
Yeah, maybe that's what this was all about. Sadius wanting to
Hmm.
get with Navani.
No, but yeah, it would be funny. She's a like a prize that he could get on top
Hmm.
of everything else.
Renarin grasped his head in his hands, staring at the ground. He was trembling.
He's High Prince now.
Navani realized. No, no! He was only High Prince if she accepted the idea that Dalinar was dead, and he wasn't. He couldn't be.
Sadius had all of the bridges.
She thought, looking down at the lumber yard. Navani stepped out into the late afternoon sunlight. Ooh, this is how she's gonna put another two and two together. All of the bridges will be there, unharmed, except for the one.
Yeah, and she was just thinking how earnest Sadius sounded. So
Mm-hmm.
now that when she puts this together, it's like then you will be as irritated as we are with how earnest he sounds because
Yeah.
it's just the lie is made bare.
Yep. Navani stepped out into the late afternoon sunlight, feeling its heat on her skin. She walked up to her attendants.
Brush pen,
She said to McCall, who carried a satchel with Navani's possessions.
the thickest one, and my burn ink.
The short, plump woman opened the satchel, taking out a long brush pen with a knob of hog bristles on the end as wide as a man's thumb. Navani took it. The ink followed. Now, I haven't heard of burn ink before. Is that a real thing, or is that a Sanderson thing?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because my initial thought was, okay, is it ink that burns, essentially?
Yeah, ink that burns and goes away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Invisible ink?
yeah, it's kind of like invisible ink in that you write this is for one burn after reading, like once. I don't know, but why not just burn it then? Why do you need ink that
That's what I
burns?
was thinking, so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
The short, plump woman opened the satchel, taking out a long brush pen with a knob of hog bristles on the end as wide as a man's thumb. Navani took it. The ink followed. Around her, the guards stared as Navani took the pen and dipped it into the blood-colored ink. She knelt and began to paint on the stone ground. Oh, is this like the thing that they did in Emperor's Soul?
Mm.
Soul stamp?
Yeah, something, but she's not creating something. She's painting in the ground, burning. Is this what's this going to do?
Art was about creation. That was its soul, its essence. Creation and order. You took something disorganized, a splash of ink, an empty page, and you built something from it. Something from nothing. The soul of creation. It's a pretty passage.
Yeah, that's very pretty. Yeah, but we still don't know what you're doing, but very pretty.
She felt the tears on her cheeks as she painted. Dalinar had no wife and no daughters. He had nobody to pray for him, and so Navani painted a prayer onto the stones themselves, sending her attendants for more ink.
Okay.
She paced off the size of the glyph as she continued its border, making it enormous, spreading her ink onto the tan rocks. That's very sweet.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and she's crying, you know,
Yeah.
through it because it's just like no, and it's a prayer as well. It's part of all of the grief of just no denial, wanting him to live, and also he has not no one. I'm the last one. Like yeah, because it's no wife and no daughters. So women, seems like women are the only ones that make prayers. So
Yeah.
also, by the way, remember rock being sacred to some.
Hmm.
So it's interesting that it's on the rocks as well.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, good point. Soldiers gathered around, Sadius stepping from his canopy, watching her paint, her back to the sun as she crawled on the ground and furiously dipped her brush pen into the ink jars. What was a prayer if not creation? Making something where nothing existed. Creating a wish out of despair, a plea out of anguish. Bowing one's back before the Almighty and forming humility from the empty pride of a human life. Something from nothing. True creation.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is a beautiful description of prayer, bowing one's back before the Almighty and forming humility from the empty pride of a human life. That's an awesome description of prayer.
Yeah, I like it. Not just as a belief statement, but as character building for Navani as well.
Mhm.
Her tears mixed with the ink. She went through 4 jars. She crawled, holding her safe hand to the ground, brushing the stones and smearing ink on her cheeks when she wiped the tears. When she finally finished, she knelt back before a glyph 20 paces long, emblazoned as if in blood. The wet ink reflected sunlight, and she fired it with a candle. The ink was made to burn whether wet or dry. Oh,
So
neat.
it really is just to make it look very cool, and you are supposed to burn. I suppose you burn
Hmm.
prayers, right? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes so much sense.
But it looks so cool, yeah.
Yeah. The flames burned across the length of the prayer, killing it and sending its soul to the Almighty. Neat.
Does the size of the prayer increase its volume to the Lord?
Probably.
Mm,
I hope
yeah.
Sadius is watching this and thinking, man, no one's going to do this for me when I die.
Yeah, but he would he really? He'd be like, "Oh, this woman, look at her. She's abasing herself."
Fair.
He's not even thinking that way. He's just
Yeah.
such a maniac. Yeah.
He's thinking, well, that was dramatic.
Ooh, this is great. Look what the prayer is.
She bowed her head before the prayer. It was only a single character, but a complex one. Thath. Justice. Oh, justice will be served, Navani. Don't you
Mhm.
worry.
And yeah, like why does she people that are watching in terms of the games of houses, the Game of Thrones, seeing her do justice. Why would you do justice? I guess what Sadius would want to do with that is be like, oh yes, we will get them. We will get the what's it, the Parshendi for this. That's the justice that she's referring to. And it's like, no, actually, what she means is she's just figured out that you're an absolute piece of trash.
Men watched quietly as if afraid of spoiling her solemn wish. A cold breeze began blowing, whipping at pennants and cloaks. The prayer went out, but that was fine. It wasn't meant to burn long. Bright
Oh
Lords!
yes. Sorry, I'm just excited because there's some. I just read Bright Lord Sadius, so I'm like, yes, cool. So we've got some message coming in.
Bright Lord Sadius! An anxious voice called. Yeah, and the hope is that this is a messenger saying, Dalinar survived. And then Sadius is going to
Mhm.
be like, shit, I already told my lie that I saw him die.
Yeah.
Navani looked up. Soldiers parted, making way for a runner in green. He hurried up to Sadius, beginning to speak, but the High Prince grabbed the man by the shoulder in a shard plate grip and pointed, gesturing for his guards to make a perimeter. He pulled the messenger beneath the canopy.
What's there to hide? Hmm?
Yeah. Hmm?
Hmm.
Navani continued to kneel beside her prayer. The flames left a black scar in the shape of the glyph on the ground. Someone stepped up beside her, Renarin. He went to one knee, resting a hand on her shoulder. Thank you, Mashallah. She nodded, standing her free hand sprinkled with drops of red pigment. This is very sweet. Her cheeks were still wet with tears, but she narrowed her eyes, looking through the press of soldiers towards Sadius. His expression was thunderous, face growing red, eyes wide with anger. I think he heard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She turned and pushed her way through the press of soldiers, scrambling up to the rim of the staging field. Renarin and some of Sadius's officers joined her in staring out over the shattered plains, and there they saw a creeping line of men limping back toward the war camps, led by a mounted man in slate gray armor.
Eat it, Sadius. Eat it.
But how'd they get back so fast, really?
No, but they've been. It's been a while. I would say, like it's they're standing there, and she had to get there. We don't know how the time has gone.
But man, does it feel good.
And yes, and the thing is that just it gives us even more fuel of just they're just standing there and really basking in their victory, essentially, such that it is for a while yet. And
Yeah,
and then you see this. And also like look, it's very far. This is the plains, so they still have to march. And they're not marching back to Sadius's camp, they're marching back to their own. So yeah.
yeah.
At least what's great is that there is a mounted man in slate gray armor. There's the whole armor there. You're talking about pieces being taken off. You just said pieces being taken off. His whole armor is visible from a distance, you piece of creme.
Mm-hmm.
So
So first off, does this mean Sadius is going to hold Navani and Renarin like as prisoners now in some way because they know the lie? Is Dalinar going to come in outright accusatory? You abandoned me, Sadius. Or is he going to play it
no,
cool?
I think he's gonna try and play it cool and be like, yeah, which is even the way I imagine it is even more scary. Is that Sadius is expecting Dalinar to be,
Oh yeah.
not and Dalinar will be honest and whatever, but Dalinar comes back and says, "Yes, it was horrible. Thank goodness you left." Like, "Oh, it was great. A good idea." Then that would make Sadius go, "Oh my god, the gloves really are off." That's what I want. That's what I've been imagining for a while. That Sadius gets this moment of Dalinar is now playing his game, and
Yeah.
that's not good for you, Sadius.
If
Yeah.
Dalinar comes in prepared to play the Game of Thrones, Sadeas will
Mm-hmm.
be extremely paranoid. He won't be able to sleep at night.
Yeah. Because because what the whole thing that he's been preying on is Dalinar's honor and Dalinar being, just straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have committed an ultimate betrayal. You
Yeah.
are an enemy, okay?
Of
So
Dalinar's, yeah.
yes, so good luck, okay? And guess what? He's not going to be fighting you like the old school where it's just like, I'm going to come and punch you in the face. It's going to be, you won't see it coming.
Yep.
So enjoy. That's what
Yep.
I'm thinking, and what would make me feel very good to
Yeah.
see.
Dalinar rode gallant at the head of 2,653 men. That was all that remained of his assault force of 8,000. Ooh.
Jeez. Yeah. This is also why I remember he can't just charge into Sadius's camp and be like, "You traitor." It's like,
Yeah.
no, we are properly ruined, essentially.
They need to rest. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're alive, okay? This is the
Yeah.
main thing.
The long trek back across the plateaus had given him time to think. His insides were still a tempest of emotions. He flexed his left hand as he rode. It was now encased by a blue-painted shardplate gauntlet borrowed from Adolin. It would take days to regrow Dalinar's own gauntlet. Longer if the Parshendi tried to grow a full suit from the one he had left. They would fail so long as Dalinar's armorers fed stormlight to his suit. The abandoned gauntlet would degrade and crumble to dust, a new one growing for Dalinar. That's a neat,
That's freaking cool.
yeah, how
Yeah.
it heals kind of a thing.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, if a piece is out there and it is given enough stormlight or to grow, the other one gets degraded or whatever. It's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, a little starfishy. For now he wore Adolin's. They had collected all of the infused gemstones among his 2,600 men and used that stormlight to recharge and reinforce his armor. It was still scarred with cracks. Healing as much damage as it had sustained would take days, but the plate was in fighting shape again if it came to that. Nice.
Yeah,
Meaning they
we
expect
didn't
a
we didn't
duel.
yeah.
Possibly.
Well, they expect some that they're just preparing for the worst. I don't
Yeah,
think a duel, although that does indicate to us if it does happen, that's we know
he's
the
ready for
status
it.
of Dalinar. Yeah. I don't know. Does Dalinar look? Yeah. Okay. So does Dalinar come out and challenge him?
Hmm,
uh, I don't know. I don't think that would be good because he's why then why do any of this? Why make any of the lie?
right. He needed to make certain it didn't. He intended to confront Sadius, and he wanted to be armored when he did. In fact, he wanted to storm up the incline to Sadius's war camp and declare formal war on his old friend. Perhaps summon his blade and see Sadius dead. Yes, Dalinar. But no Dalinar.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
Dalinar.
Like, but that's what you're feeling.
Yeah. But he wouldn't. His soldiers were too weak, his position too tenuous. Formal war would destroy him and the kingdom. He had to do something else, something that protected the kingdom. Revenge would come, eventually. Alethkar came first. Such a Dalinar line.
Mm-hmm.
He lowered his blue gauntleted fist, gripping Gallant's reins. Adolin rode a short distance away. They'd repaired his armor as well, though he now lacked a gauntlet. Dalinar had refused the gift of his son's gauntlet at first, but had given in to Adolin's logic. If one of them was going to go without, it should be the younger man. Inside Shardplate, their differences in age didn't matter, but outside of it, Adolin was a young man in his 20s, and Dalinar an aging man in his 50s. How does that
Yep.
work?
Good logic. Because outside of it, they will be. It's a
Oh, yeah,
mech
yeah,
suit,
yeah, yeah,
right?
I see
So
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I have to explain why that didn't make sense to me was because my first
Mhm,
inclination was protect the younger one because he's
mhm.
younger. But then I realized it's about capability, not age.
Yeah, yeah. It's not about who should live. It's about who will be able to survive easier
Yeah,
in what state.
yeah.
And I don't know. I think the symbolism of him having this blue gauntlet from his son is quite cool.
Mm,
There is the idea of Adolin had the wariness of Sadius, and Dalinar had the sort of naivete. And now he's kind of taken that from Adolin. He's taken the truth from Adolin and put it as part of his armor. I don't know. The symbolism of it is really getting to me.
nice. He still didn't know what to think of the visions and their apparent failure in telling him to trust Sadius. He'd confront that later, one step at a time. Yeah, again, it's my thinking that the person giving the visions is fallible and
Mhm.
desperate and wants everyone to trust each other. Or
Or
he,
even
or
or
he has
he the
seen the
p
future and seen this outcome and
yes,
seen that it's how Kaladin and Dalinar get together.
exactly.
Elthal, Dalinar called, the highest ranked officer who had survived the disaster. Elthal was a limber man with a distinguished face and a thin mustache. His arm was in a sling. He'd been one of those to hold the gap alongside Dalinar during the last part of the fight. Yes, Bright Lord? Elthal asked, jogging over to Dalinar. All of the horses, save the two Rashadium, were carrying wounded. Take the wounded to my war camp, Dalinar said. Then tell Taleb to bring the entire camp to alert. Mobilize the remaining companies. Yes, Bright Lord, the man said, saluting. Bright Lord, what should I tell them to prepare for? Anything, but hopefully nothing. I understand, Bright Lord, Elthal said, leaving to follow the orders. Okay, cool. Prepare for everything,
Yeah.
but hope for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what Sadius is going to do. We really don't know if he's going to come and challenge us for a duel or literally do all out war because yeah, sure, it would break the kingdom, but Sadius doesn't care. And yeah, it would be, considering the position that Dalinar is in, they would probably they would break quite easily under the force of Sadius.
Yeah.
But they do have two shard bearers.
Yeah. Then again, keep in mind, Dalinar's soldiers are the better soldiers, better trained,
Yeah, exactly.
and they've
And
got a
I
Kaladin.
suppose yeah, I was gonna say they've got a Kaladin, but he also needs a rest. Everybody just needs a rest. Everybody calm down.
Yeah. Dalinar turned gallant to march over to the group of bridgemen, still following their somber leader, a man named Kaladin. They'd left their bridge as soon as they'd reached the permanent bridges. Sadius could send for it eventually. Cool.
Yeah,
He knows the name.
yeah, he knows the name, and also just screw you, Sadius. You can go and get your own bridge. We're not carrying it back.
Honestly, I wish they had
Mm.
just thrown it into a chasm.
Yeah, you don't need it. Like
Yeah.
we don't need another bridge crew to take that.
Yeah.
Mm.
The bridgemen stopped as he approached, looking as tired as he felt, then arranged themselves in a subtly hostile formation. They clung to their spears as if certain he'd try to take them away. They had saved him, yet they obviously didn't trust him. Yes, yes, good. Love the
Mm-hmm.
hostility. And yeah, this would be the part where Kaladin would expect Dalinar to betray them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So it's like we have to build trust here, and good that Dalinar understands. They don't trust him.
Yeah. I'm sending my wounded back to my camp, Dalinar said. You should go with them. You're confronting Sadius? Kaladin asked. I must. I have to know why he did what he did. He thinks to himself,
Mm.
I will buy your freedom when I do. Well, at least there's that, but Kaladin's not going to come cheaply. He's their best bridge crew, as even though they're the trouble crew. um,
Yeah, I don't know. And Kaladin's also just part of. He was there. He's a witness. Who knows? Also, Kaladin is an insubordinate bridgeman. That's you're taking away my punishment of the bridgeman. I've been annoyed by him the whole time. Or maybe you're just like, yeah, take him. Pfft, I don't need him. Thank goodness. Thanks for taking him off my hands. But either way, I just so much unknown. There's so many ways this could go.
yeah. Then I'm staying with you, Kaladin said. Good, Kaladin.
Woo!
Me too, said a hawk-faced man at the side. Soon all of the bridgemen were demanding to stay. Kaladin turned to them. I should send you back. What? Asked an older bridgeman with a short gray beard. You can risk yourself, but we can't. We have men back in Sadius's camp. We need to get them out. At the very least, we need to stay together. See this through. The others
I love
nodded.
that Dalinar is seeing this. I love that Dalinar is seeing how his men care about him.
How
Dalinar
loyal they
needs to,
are.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. It makes me think like Sadius wouldn't even take notice of this. It would be because he would not be listening to anything the bridgeman said. But I want Dalinar to see this. I want Dalinar to be even more curious about this man Kaladin that really created a great team.
Yeah. Yeah. Though I could also understand if Dalinar were nervous to let the whole crew in with Sadius.
Yeah.
The others nodded. Again, Dalinar was struck by their discipline. More and more he was certain Sadius had nothing to do with that. Good Dalinar!
Hmm.
It was this man at their head. Though his eyes were dark brown, he held himself like a Bright Lord.
Yeah, it's almost as if that doesn't matter, you moron.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah, slowly, slowly, you'll learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if they wouldn't go, Dalinar wouldn't force them. He continued to ride, and soon close to 1,000 of Dalinar's soldiers broke off and marched south toward his war camp. The rest of them continued toward Sadius's camp. As they drew closer, Dalinar noticed a small crowd gathering at the final chasm. Two figures in particular stood at their forefront, Renarin and Navani. What are they doing in Sadius's war camp? Adolin asked, smiling through his fatigue, edging Sureblood up beside Dalinar. Man, I felt like my delivery of that line displays what I had interpreted that line to be a bit more. What I mean by that is I was expecting some degree of mistrust here, be it that Sadius was there lying to them. Point being, I was not expecting Adolin to be smiling at that sight.
Mm. Yeah. Well, at least he's happy that they're he's gonna see them, and maybe he is. Yeah, he's just happy that he's got allies in there as well.
Yeah. What are they doing in Sadius's war camp? Adolin asked, smiling through his fatigue, edging Sureblood up beside Dalinar. I don't know, Dalinar said, but the Stormfather blessed them for coming. Seeing their welcome faces, he began to feel it sink in, finally, that he had survived the day. Whew!
Yeah, this is what you survived for. It's relief. It's like, oh my gosh, look what I could have lost. Look what I could have. Well, look what I could have left behind because he was worried about Renarin in those last moments. And there
Yeah.
he is. Yeah.
Gallant crossed the last bridge. Renarin was there waiting, and Dalinar rejoiced. For once, the boy was displaying outright joy. Dalinar swung free from the saddle and embraced his son. Father! Renarin said. You live! Adolin laughed, swinging out of his own saddle, armor clanking. Renarin pulled out of the embrace and grabbed Adolin on the shoulder, pounding the shard plate lightly with his other hand, grinning widely. Very sweet.
I love this. Yeah, it's just giving me emotions. Oh,
So much?
just like, yeah, like I don't care how short the time you thought they were dead was. It's the relief must be just overwhelming. So like as well, like Renarin isn't a very expressive person, but he's just showing open, unabashed joy that they're alive.
Yeah.
That just shows you where we're at here.
Yeah.
I would be crying so much. Yes. See?
Dalinar smiled as well, turning from the brothers to look at Navani. She stood with hands clasped before her, one eyebrow raised. Her face, oddly, bore a few small smears of red paint. You weren't even worried, were you? He said to her.
Worried?
She asked. Her eyes met his, and for the first time he noticed their redness.
I was terrified.
That's a very sweet exchange.
Mm-hmm. Like he's like, oh, you weren't even worried. He's like trying to, just get that wry response from her, but
Humor,
she's like, no,
yeah.
yeah, this was real, okay, and was not, I was not playing the game. I was emotional and I was terrified. That's it. That's how much I love you. Is that I was showing I'm terrified and I've been crying and yeah, okay, this is not a joke. Sorry for
Yeah.
you.
This is not the time for dry humor.
Yeah, and it's not me denying I have feelings for you because, it's cute and coy. No, it's I almost lost you. That's why my eyes are red like this, in which is the same as me tearing my hair out, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then Dalinar found himself grabbing her in an embrace. He had to be careful as he was in Shardplate, but the gauntlets let him feel the silk of her dress, and his missing helm let him smell the sweet floral scent of her perfumed soap. He held her as tightly as he dared, bowing his head and pressing his nose into her hair.
Oh, wow, so that you can actually feel through the gauntlets, that's really cool.
Yeah. But also, this is a PDA, public display of
Yes,
affection.
and you know what? After what they've been through, yes. After all Sadius is your brother, your brother, your brother. This is like, no, no, no. They're not brother and sister, boys and girls. Hmm.
She noted warmly.
It appears that I was missed. The others are watching. They'll talk.
I don't care.
Hmm. It appears I was very much missed.
On the battlefield, he said gruffly, I thought I would die, and I realized it was all right. She pulled her head back, looking confused.
I'm confused too at this point. I haven't read further because it's like, wait. You thought it was all right, what, that you would die, or that it's all right to love me? Like, well, where are we at? So that's where I'm at with her.
The implication, I presumed, was that it would be all right that if I die because you knew I loved
Mm,
you, or something like that.
hmm
I have spent too much of my time worrying about what other people think, Navani. When I thought my time had arrived, I realized that all my worrying had been wasted. In the end, I was pleased with how I had lived my life. He looked down at her, then mentally unlatched his right gauntlet, letting it drop to the ground with a clank. He reached
Oh, we
up
can
with
do
that.
that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just even cooler stuff. Okay.
He reached up with that calloused hand, cupping her chin. I had only two regrets, one for you and one for Renarin.
So you're saying you can just die, and it would be all right?
I kind of chuckled when I read that. Is that bad?
No.
Okay.
It's like, so it's like she's I suppose as well, like he's given her this great meaningful speech, and she's like, so you're saying it's fine, you can die now? No.
No, he said. What I'm saying is that I faced eternity, and I saw peace there. That will change how I live.
Without all of the guilt?
He hesitated. Being me, I doubt I'll banish it entirely. The end was peace, but living, that is a tempest. Still, I see things differently now. It is time to stop letting myself be shoved around by lying men. He looked up toward the ridge above, where more soldiers in green were gathering. I keep thinking of one of the visions, he said softly. The latest one, where I met Noadon. He rejected my suggestion that he write down his wisdom. There's something there, something I need to learn,
What?
Navani asked. I don't know yet, but I'm close to figuring it out. He held her close again, hand on the back of her head, feeling her hair. He wished for the plate to be gone, to not be separated from her by the metal.
Okay, I'm loving this. Sorry, just I'm loving this. Okay. I loved the prayer part. In terms of the romance stuff, this is where the passion has come through to me, that she is scraping on the ground and like becoming untidy and smearing, not caring about the ink on her face and the redness in her eyes and all of that. She's become very real in her grief. She became very real in her grief there. And that made me appreciate how much she does love Dalinar.
Mm-hmm.
And now in this interaction between the two, I'm really feeling the warmth and the real love. So the romance is
Yeah.
here for me.
Yeah, it's very much here, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
Yeah, and it makes sense that he had this near death experience essentially, and it's made him realize he's been a fool. I've been a fool, kind of thing, like, so it's working. It's here. I'm happy for it.
It seems a lot more honest here, in a way,
Mm.
that I don't think it did earlier. With all
Yeah,
of
and I
the I
suppose,
have to send her away kind
yeah,
of isms.
yeah, exactly. It's like they're free now, and they're actually free to just really, really love each other. And I it works, okay? It works. The fact that I can feel it now makes me realize, okay, this is a really massive shift. So yeah, just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Anderson does it again.
But the time for that had not yet come. Reluctantly, he released her, turning to the side, where Renarin and Adolin were watching them uncomfortably. His soldiers were looking up at Sadius's army gathering on the ridge. I can't let this come to bloodshed, Dalinar thought, reaching down and putting his hand into the fallen gauntlet. Surely Sadius knows that he would have the upper hand right now in an all-out match. Yeah?
Mhm. Yeah. But it's still then it's a big risk. Then it's all out, bold-faced
Mm-hmm.
war and attack instead of the plausible deniability of, oh, we were in a battle and all of that. Because we
Yeah.
have that thing of, why did Sadius do it this way?
Yeah.
Why did he do it this way? And but the thing is, this change in circumstances could lead him to abandon that strategy altogether. Like, it's not impossible for him to go, oh well, I've been had. Let's just, like, I'm the cat's out of the bag. Let's fight. You know. So, oh, so much can happen.
By the way, I'm waiting for Navani to say, he said he saw you die.
Yeah, please, Navani, get to this. But I suppose it is quite emotional. It's just like, oh my god, you're alive. But then it's like, I would go into the absolute rage at Sadius because he said that you were dead. Look what he
Mm-hmm.
put me through, and look what he wanted. He could have taken you from me. Oh, the absolute, like, burning crazy rage that would, no, I would be talking about it immediately.
Yeah.
Mm.
The straps tightened, connecting to the rest of the armor. But I'm also not going to slink back to my camp without confronting him. He at least had to know the purpose of the betrayal. Yes, I would like to know.
For the sake of betrayal, that's the purpose. For the sake of not having you around anymore, Dalinar. But I know what you mean. Like, okay, so why would you not want me around? I'm your ally.
Yeah,
So I don't know what explanation we could get that's satisfying anyway.
yeah. All had been going so well. Besides, there was the matter of his promise to the bridgemen. Dalinar walked up the slope, blood-stained blue cloak flapping behind him. Adolin clanked up next to him on one side, Navani keeping pace on the other. Renarin followed, Dalinar's remaining 1,600 troops marching up as well. It's going to be very anticlimactic if Sadius just says, yeah, you can keep the bridgemen, I don't care. So that will be a point of contention.
Hmm. I think either way they'll have points of contention, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just see.
Father, Adolin said, looking at the hostile troops. Don't summon your blade. This will not come to blows.
Sadius abandoned you, didn't he?
Navani asked quietly, eyes alight with anger. He didn't just abandon us, Adolin spat. He set us up, then betrayed us. We survived, Dalinar said firmly. The way ahead was becoming clearer. He knew what he needed to do. He won't attack us here, but he might try to provoke us. Keep your sword as mist, Adolin, and don't let our troops make any mistakes. The soldiers in green parted reluctantly, holding spears, hostile. To the side, Kaladin and his bridgemen walked near the front of Dalinar's force. Adolin didn't summon his blade, though he regarded Sadius's troops around them with contempt. Dalinar's soldiers couldn't have felt easy about being surrounded by enemies once again, but they followed him onto the staging field. Way to go, Dalinar's soldiers!
Hmm. Yeah, they're here with him. It's a whole crew. We're loyal people. Let's go into the belly of this disgusting beast.
Yes. Sadius stood ahead. The treacherous High Prince waited with arms folded, still wearing his shard plate, curly black hair blowing in the breeze. Someone had burned an enormous Thath glyph on the stones here, and Sadius stood at its center. Yeah, that's some
Ah,
symbolism right there.
yeah. And someone he hasn't, obviously he's not putting it all together, but it's like, yeah, he he is standing inside justice as if, like, I will give it. No, 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 no. Justice will prevail here. Justice is approaching you, boy.
Yup. Justice. There was something magnificently appropriate about Sadius standing there, treading upon justice.
Uh,
Ah,
yeah, good point. Good point. He's treading upon it. He's not just. It's not like he's surrounded by it. It's like he's treading upon it. He doesn't give a crap about it.
yeah. Dalinar! Sadeas exclaimed. Old friend! It appears that I overestimated the odds against you. I apologize for retreating when you were still in danger, but the safety of my men came first. I'm certain you understand.
Okay, so before we get to it, so this is when I would expect or I would want Dalinon to be like, no, yeah, that's absolutely. It was a great strategic. I want that. We've had that discussion. But I'm not thinking it's going to happen because he's confronting him.
Yeah,
So
he really
it's,
wants the why.
yeah.
Dalinar stopped a short distance from Sadeas. The two faced each other, collected armies tense. A cold breeze whipped at a canopy behind Sadeas. Of course, Dalinar said, his voice even. You did what you had to do. Sadeas relaxed visibly, though several of Dalinar's soldiers muttered at that. Adolin silenced them with pointed glances. Dalinar turned, waving Adolin and his men backward. Navani gave him a raised eyebrow but retreated with the others when he urged her. Dalinar looked back at Sadeas, and the man, looking curious, waved his own attendants back.
Okay, hold up. So it's happened. Sorry, it's happened. The thing I wanted has happened, but Sadius is relaxing instead of going, well, ooh. So does he really believe
No.
that
I
what?
think the subtext is we're about to have a chat.
Yeah, at least we're not fighting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because him agreeing is okay. I'm not going to fight you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like the arena of it, you know? Dalinar walked up to the edge of the Thath glyph, and Sadeas stepped forward until only inches separated them. They were matched in height. Standing this close, Dalinar thought he could see tension and anger in Sadeas's eyes. Dalinar's survival had ruined months of planning. Mm.
So, yes, indeed, it had.
I need to know why, Dalinar asked too quietly for any but Sadeas to hear. Because of my oath, old friend. What? Dalinar asked, hands forming fists.
Yeah, like, bro, hold up. This is amazing because I don't have the next page yet.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last on my page. What? Okay, because Dalinar is like, he's bound by oaths. Oaths are very important to him, and it's like, so you have an oath that makes you betray me, you piece of.
Maybe this
Okay.
is about Navani.
Ooh, here we go.
We swore something together years ago. Sadeas sighed, losing his flippancy and speaking openly. Protect Elhokar, protect this kingdom. Wait, that's what he was doing!
Exactly.
They could have
It's
ended the
just his
war!
interpretation. Yeah, but no, it's his interpretation because like,
Yeah.
oh no, if we end the war, then what? Then Alethkar is finished. What's wrong with you,
Mm-hmm.
moron?
That's what I was doing. We had the same purpose, and we were fighting together, Sadeas. It was working! Yes, Sadeas said, but I'm confident I can beat the Parshendi on my own now. Everything we've done together I can manage by splitting my army into two, one to race on ahead, a larger force to follow. I had to take this chance to remove you. Dalinar, can't you see? Gavilar died because of his weakness. I wanted to attack the Parshendi from the start, conquer them. He insisted on a treaty, which led to his death. Now you're starting to act just like him. Those same ideas, the same ways of speaking. Through you, they begin to infect Elhokar. He dresses like you. He talks of the codes to me and of how perhaps we should enforce them through all the war camps. He's beginning to think of retreating. Oh, he's sounding crazy now.
Okay, and this is also making me go, is this something? Is he part of making sure this war happens? But then again, he did say, "Oh, Gavilar died because of his weakness." Like he was already against the treaty anyway. All, but the thing is, it works for Gavilar to have been killed because then we get purpose for the war that Sadius wanted. So what I'm saying is, was he involved somehow in killing Gavilar?
I don't Oh, maybe. But I don't think so.
Yeah.
I look, I see the messed up logic in all of this, but I also see the insanity of it. It,
Mhm.
it helps Elhokar to win the war.
Yeah, but he wants to take Dalinar out though. So it's like, okay, yeah, but you might not win the war because you might be retreating. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
but the thing is, Dalinar wanted to win the war.
yeah.
Dalinar was going to. He wanted to end the war. But the thing is, he wants to wipe them out. It's not a defeat. It's slaughter and end.
Yeah, and he doesn't want Elhokar thinking like Dalinar. He doesn't want him
Hmm.
thinking like Gavilar. And I'm sorry, Sadeas, but your army cannot do what Dalinar's army does. So if you just send a larger force later, that's you just sending backup. That's not you. And your army's not as good. Sorry, not sorry. And so you'd have me think this an act of honor? Dalinar growled. Not at all, Sadeas said, chuckling. I have struggled for years to become Elhokar's most trusted advisor, but there was always you, distracting him, holding his ear despite my every effort. I won't pretend this was only about honor, though there was an element of that to it. In the end, I just wanted you gone.
Exactly. That's it. Okay? He can make all this me about honor and oaths and shit. No, he just didn't want Dalinar around. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
yep,
that simple. That's why when he said I want to know the why of it, it's just like because he didn't want you alive.
yeah.
That's it.
Sadeas's voice grew cold. But you are going insane, old friend. You may name me a liar, but I did what I did today as a mercy, a way of letting you die in glory rather than watching you descend further and further. By letting the Parshendi kill you, I could protect Elhokar from you and turn you into a symbol to remind the others what we're really doing here. Your death might have become what finally united us. Ironic, if you consider it.
Ugh.
I I see the faulty logic of it. Uh, I believe Sadeas. I believe this all to be true. I believe he believes what he is saying.
Yeah, but he also doesn't like Dalinar.
Yeah.
So it all just works very nicely for him to just take Dalinar out because Dalinar is everything he isn't, and he needs to prove that his way of living is better than Gavilar's and better than Dalinar's.
Yeah.
He views their thoughts, their honor as weakness. So wiping them out is vindicating for him. And yeah, it's just yeah, he's just coping as well. Oh no, it's actually a good thing. It's actually all a good thing. And you know what? Yes, we would have actually totally united. It's like, yeah, exactly. You would just be in control. That's what you would want. That's the unity you're interested in, not the way Dalinar is interested in unity.
Yeah.
Unity is strength for him. For Sadius, unity is under me as leader, me
Yeah.
as the brains behind the operation.
Yeah. And everyone hates Dalinar. They're not going to unite from his death.
Well, actually, wouldn't they? They unite from his death because it's yay, he's finally gone, and now
Nah.
we can
I mean,
all
yeah, but nah.
embrace what we were. Mhm.
No, I think that it would make things worse.
Mm.
I mean, certainly, I don't think Renarin would be able to maintain the same amount of order around all of the war camps and against banditry and stuff, and then things would just slowly deteriorate, is how I
Oh yeah,
imagine.
I completely expect House Colin, basically the Dalinar's house, to just fade away. I didn't even consider Renarin.
But no, I mean, with the degradation of the camps,
Hmm.
with the loss of what Dalinar had been doing to upkeep them all,
Hmm.
so too would
Yeah, there would be
relations.
unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dalinar breathed in and out. It was hard not to let his anger, his indignation consume him. Then tell me one thing. Why not pin the assassination attempt on me? Why clear me if you were only looking to betray me later on?
Exactly.
Maybe I mean, one, is it possible Sadeas did the assassination attempt? But two, is it... Shoot, I blanked.
Oh, well, even if Sadeas did do the assassination attempt, it still behooves him to
Oh,
what's it,
yes, I
pin it
remember.
on Alan.
Yes, but maybe he really is interested in finding out who actually did the attempt, and therefore there's no point in pinning it on Dalinar. Because he
Hmm.
still is looking.
Well, he could carry on looking anyway.
Yeah. Sadeas snorted softly. Bah, nobody would really believe that you tried to kill the king. They'd gossip, but they wouldn't believe it. Blaming you too quickly would have risked implicating myself. He shook his head. I think Elhokar knows who tried to kill him. He's admitted as much to me, though he won't give me the name. What? Dalinar thought. He knows? But how? Why not tell us who? Yeah, who? I want to know.
Yeah, and what you
Jeez.
tell he, but he's admitted as much to me. So he's definitely spoken to Sadeas more than Dalinar,
Yeah.
because Dalinar didn't think he knew anything. So
Yeah.
Sadeas knows he knows. Yeah, doesn't have a name, but he knows more than Dalinar. And yeah, it also sound logic there that yeah, no one would believe that he did it, sure, but he would still be out of the way.
Yeah.
Dalinar would still be out of the way.
He knows it wasn't you, Sadeas continued. I can read that much in him, though he doesn't realize how transparent he is. Blaming you would have been pointless. Elhokar would have defended you, and I might very well have lost the position of High Prince of Information. But it did give me a wonderful opportunity to make you trust me again.
Ugh. Yeah, that's true. Again, as well, that's in me. That's exactly what led to this. It's like, oh, we can trust him. Oh, he does want. Uh, yep. This is like the villain speech at the end of the movie where we get all the explanation. But I'm here for it. I want to know.
Yeah, it's a touch monologue but in a good way, because it's
Mm,
also interesting.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Unite them. The visions. But the man who spoke to Dalinar and them had been dead wrong. Acting with honor hadn't won Sadeas's loyalty. No, it was about winning Kaladin's loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
It had just opened Dalinar up to betrayal. If it means anything, Sadeas said idly, I'm fond of you. I really am. But you are a boulder in my path, and a force working, without realizing it, to destroy Gavilar's kingdom. When the chance came along, I took it. It wasn't simply a convenient opportunity, Dalinar said. You set this up, Sadeas. I planned, but I'm often planning. I don't always act on my options. Today I did. Dalinar snorted. Well, you've shown me something today, Sadeas. Shown it to me by the very act of trying to remove me. And what was that? Sadeas asked, amused. You've shown me that I'm still a threat. Cool?
Boom. Yeah. And it's yeah. You've shown me that I'm still a threat. You've shown me you're an enemy as well. That you've made it very clear. Yes, but I was a fool. Blah blah. But yeah, I'm worth removing. Am I? Hmm. And cool. We're against each other now.
Yeah.
That's it. Good luck.
POV shift to Kaladin, I think.
Mhm. Mhm.
The High Princes continued their low-pitched conversation. Kaladin stood to the side of Dalinar's soldiers, exhausted with the members of Bridge 4. Sadeas spared a glance for them. Matal stood in the crowd. Ha 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 ha! I'm so glad Kaladin gets to see the look on his face. Matal stood in the crowd and had been watching Kaladin's team the entire time, red-faced. Matal's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
Matal probably knew that he would be punished as Lamaril had been. Oh, yep, there it is. He's gonna die. They should have learned. They should have killed Kaladin at the start. They tried, he thought. They failed.
Yeah. That they did.
Yes.
Don't want them to do it again, though.
Yeah. He didn't know what had happened to him, what had gone on with Syl and the words in his head. It seemed that Stormlight worked better for him now. It had been more potent, more powerful, but now it was gone, and he was so tired, drained. He'd pushed himself and Bridge 4 too far, too hard. Perhaps he and the others should have gone to Kolin's camp, but Teft was right. They needed to see this through. Yeah, they really do.
I'm surprised he's even standing. I thought that once he's out of the Stormlight, he's gonna pass out like,
That's what
putrid
I
drag
thought.
thing. Yeah,
Because
but
Sanderson really,
mm,
really did go into
make it
great
seem that way.
detail about how hard he was pushing himself.
Mm,
So, in a small way, I wonder if that's a detriment to his ability to be standing here now. But
mhm,
all in all, I don't ding the book too hard for that.
mm,
Nitpicky when we go one chapter a week.
mhm.
He promised, Kaladin thought. He promised he would free us from Sadeas. And yet, where had the promises of Light Eyes gotten him in the past? The High Princes broke off their conference, separating, stepping back from one another. Well, Sadeas said loudly, your men are obviously tired, Dalinar. We can speak later about what went wrong, though I think it is safe to assume that our alliance has proven unfeasible. Unfeasible? Dalinar said. A kind way of putting it. He nodded toward the bridgemen. I will take these bridgemen with me to my camp. I'm afraid I cannot part with them. Oh,
There
gee,
you go.
who
Mhm.
didn't see that one coming?
But Dalinar is gonna fight for it. That's the thing. He's like, we've got Kaladin thinking, "Oh, no, he promised and he's gonna break the promise," and he's probably gonna think that Dalinar just goes, "Oh, well, I tried."
Yeah,
No, he's got to try. That it's dishonorable if he just goes, "Oh, well."
yeah, and I'm genuinely wondering if Dalinar is prepared to duel Sadeas for the bridgemen, because the reason I bring that up is I'm so curious what kind of effect that would have on Kaladin. And also, I kind of want to see
Mhm.
Kaladin try and suck Stormlight from Sadeas' shard plate during the duel.
Yeah, me too.
Kaladin's heart sank. Surely they aren't worth much to you, Dalinar said. Name your price. I'm not looking to sell. I will pay 60 emerald bromes per man, Dalinar said. That drew gasps from the watching soldiers on both sides. It was easily 20 times the price of a good slave. That's
That should indicate Yeah, that should
impressive.
indicate something to Kaladin, at least something, okay? I don't know if Kaladin I mean, you don't wanna be, "Haha, I'm worth this much," because you don't wanna be property at all, but at the same time, it's like, this is how far he's willing to go and how much he's willing to pay for you. This is
Yeah,
how much he's like, and the gasps of other people shows that it's not just it's very out of the ordinary.
yeah. Although at this point, one does have to wonder if it were not best for the bridgemen to go back to Dalinar's camp.
Mm. Yeah, so they could at least just hide there, yeah.
Yeah. Not for 1,000 each, Dalinar, Sadeas said. So is that negotiation tactic? Is he willing to part, but he's just trying to drive up the price? Or does he genuinely not want to get rid of the miracle? And I'm pretty sure it's that he.
No,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think Sadeas can afford to let
but I
them lose the miracle. He wants to kill
no,
them
no,
for
no.
foiling the plan.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. It's not about, I will benefit from the bridgeman. It's I want revenge on them. I want to kill them that badly. You
Yeah,
can't pay me off. Yeah.
yeah. Kaladin could see the depths of his bridgemen in those eyes. Take your soldiers and go. Leave my property here. Do not press me on this, Sadeas, Dalinar said. Suddenly the tension was back. Dalinar's officers lowered hands to swords and his spearmen perked up, gripping the hafts of their weapons. Do not press you? Sadeas asked. What kind of threat is that? Leave my camp. It's obvious there's nothing more between us. If you try to steal my property, I will have every justification in attacking you. Dalinar stood in place. He looked confident, though Kaladin saw no reason why. And another promise dies, Kaladin thought, turning away. In the end, for all his good intentions, this Dalinar Kholin was the same as the others. No, you're jumping too fast to that, Kaladin.
Yeah, you're jumping too fast to that, and it's like, do you not realize how much just even this, even him saying, "Don't press me on this," and bringing back the tension, that is not giving up a promise.
Yep.
That's that's properly going like, and also Kaladin, I'm sorry, even if this is where Dalinar has to break the promise because it's gonna lead to a whole bunch of bloodshed, you can understand this. It's not about him just being a fake honorable man. It's about literally, oh, I can't win this. Must I now sacrifice myself and die for this? Come on, Kaladin. Be a little bit more human.
Yeah, it will mean a lot to Kaladin, too, to see Dalinar be prepared to duel Sadeas for them.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Kaladin, men gasped in surprise. Kaladin froze, then spun around. Dalinar Kholin was holding his massive shard blade. It dripped beads of water from having just been summoned. His armor steamed faintly, stormlight rising from the cracks. Nice.
Yeah, here we go. So this is why we got that whole thing in the beginning of like where he's at with his armor and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
we know what this is, and yeah. Also, by the way, just a reminder, Sadeas does not have a shard blade.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sadeas stumbled back, eyes wide. His honor guard drew their swords. Adolin Kholin reached his hand to the side, apparently beginning to summon his own weapon. Dalinar took one
Yes!
step forward, then drove his blade, point first, into the middle of the blackened glyph on the stone. He took a step back. For the bridgeman, he said.
Whoa!
Whoa!
He's giving his shard blade? No! No!
Wow.
No!
Clarify that this includes the ones back at Sadeas's camp.
Yes, but wow.
Wow, that is a big price. Sadeas,
Oh, shit.
I think he's gonna take it.
Yeah, because this is an offer he can't refuse. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's an offer he can't refuse. I love the drama of this that we're like, oh, he's gonna attack. And then it's like, no, he's actually giving it. Whoa.
Wow.
Sorry, Kaladin. Sorry, how's this gonna work for you, Kaladin? How are you going to deal with this? Hmm? That is big enough for you to lose. Yeah.
I love the mirroring of it. He lost faith in the
Mm-hmm.
Bright Lords because a Bright Lord killed his friends for a shard blade, and here is a
Mm-hmm.
Bright Lord giving a shard blade to save his friends.
Yep. Perfect. Just perfect. And just right in front of him, no denying it. And that, you know what? Fine, you lose a shard blade, but you gain what's it, surge binder. Heh.
Yes, I think that's a worthy trade, and Sadeas has no idea.
Mm, yeah, exactly. And you get Kaladin's like loyalty. Okay, his
Yeah,
respect at least.
yeah,
Or unless he twists it somehow to try and think that that Dalinar has done something. Like I don't know, that this is just too big. You can't twist it. I'm sorry, I don't think he can cope.
yeah. Sadeas blinked, muttering voices fell silent, and the people on the field seemed too stunned even to breathe. What? Sadeas asked. The blade, Dalinar said, firm voice carrying in the air. In exchange for your bridgemen. All of them. Every one you have in camp. They become mine to do with as I please, never to be touched by you again. In exchange, you get the sword. I hope that's... Oh, is
Woo!
that everyone? Bridge 1, Bridge 2, Bridge
All
3?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Sadeas looked down at the blade, incredulous. This weapon is worth fortunes, cities, palaces, kingdoms. Do we have a deal? Dalinar asked. Father, no! Adolin Kholin said, his own blade appearing in his hand. You... shame on you, Adolin. You promised you wouldn't summon yours.
Mhm.
Dalinar raised a hand, silencing the younger man. He kept his eyes on Sadeas. Do we have a deal? He asked, each word sharp. This is so good.
This is so good, and it's just like it somehow he gets a shard blade. Sadeas gets a shard blade, but he looks so scummy and ratty and pathetic
Yeah, he has not
because
earned
it's like
that
he
shard
cannot.
blade.
Yeah, he hasn't earned it, but he cannot help but get it because he's so desperate.
Yep.
Like the fact that he didn't earn it should stop him, but it will not. And everyone just gets the contents of his character from this. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Kaladin stared, unable to move, unable to think. Sadeas,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah,
It
I would that's where you should be, Kaladin, because you're like, what? Yeah. Your whole world has flipped
shattered.
right over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Sadeas looked at the shard blade, eyes full of lust. He glanced at Kaladin, hesitated just briefly, then reached and grabbed the blade by the hilt. Take the storming creatures! Creatures? Screw you.
Mhm.
Dalinar nodded curtly, turning away from Sadeas. Let's go, he said to his entourage. They're worthless, you know, Sadeas said. You're of the 10 fools, Dalinar Kholin. Don't you see how mad you are? This will be remembered as the most ridiculous decision ever made by an Alethi High Prince.
Sure. Yes. And you know what? Nobody's going to remember how great you were, Sadeas. Actually, that's exactly how they'll remember it. Even if they remember it as Dalinar being stupid, they're not going to think of you as you. They're not going to think of Sadeas as being clever. It's not about you outsmarting some fool. Like, yeah, that's how you'll be remembered. Enjoy. And yeah, again, he does not know how much they are worth. Just the fact, the strategy that comes with Kaladin as well, of training the bridgemen and armoring them up and caring about them, it actually does work. And then yeah, whole surge binding, you know, powerful guy. But whatever, sure, enjoy.
Yeah, but also, no, I think people will remember this as the moment that Dalinar gained the loyalty of a Surge Binder,
Mm-hmm.
which at this point seems rarer in the world than Shard Blades, and likely better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rarer, yes, and likely better, yeah.
Meaning it will be remembered as Sadeas making the most ridiculous decision ever made by an Alethi
Mm-hmm.
High Prince. He's the
Mm-hmm.
miracle! You know him as the
Mm.
miracle!
But
Ah,
he doesn't care. Like,
yeah,
sorry,
no.
he knows for sure what kind of miracle is in a shard blade.
Yeah,
Whereas Kaladin, what we survived, cool.
yep. Dalinar didn't look back. He walked up to Kaladin and the other members of Bridge 4. Go, Dalinar said to them, voice kindly. Gather your things and the men you left behind. I will send troops with you to act as guards. Leave the bridges and come swiftly to my camp. You will be safe there. You have my word of honor on it. He began to walk away. Woo, so good.
Hmm. Yes, you have my word of honor, and bro, you know what that honor means now.
Yeah, Sill's probably having a field day right now.
Yeah, she's freaking woo! She's riding the waves.
Yep. He began to walk away. Kaladin shook off his numbness. He scrambled after the High Prince, grabbing his armored arm. Wait, you... That... What just happened? Dalinar turned to him. Then the High Prince laid a hand on Kaladin's shoulder, the gauntlet gleaming blue, mismatched with the rest of his slate-gray armor. I don't know what has been done to you. I can only guess what your life has been like. But know this. You will not be bridgemen in my camp, nor will you be slaves. But what is a man's life worth? Dalinar asked softly. The slave masters say one is worth about 2 emerald broams, Kaladin said, frowning. And what do you say? A life is priceless, he said immediately, quoting his father. Ah, great response.
Hmm.
Dalinar smiled, wrinkle lines extending from the corners of his eyes. Coincidentally, that is the exact value of a shard blade. So today you and your men sacrificed to buy me 2,600 priceless lives, and all I had to repay you with was a single priceless sword. I call that a bargain. Oh, that's great.
That's neat. Yeah, that is very neat. That's just, you know what, look at this. This is, I think it's true. It's, yes, he does value his men's lives as well.
Yeah.
And you, that's how indebted he is to you.
Yep.
You saved him. Okay? He's not playing with that idea. You really did save him.
Yep.
He was dead otherwise. And he's not just going, "Oh, well, I'm out of it now." He is repaying you. That's, oh, it's beautiful. And yeah, oh, just good. Just so good.
Yeah. You really think it was a good trade, don't you? Kaladin said, amazed. Dalinar smiled in a way that seemed strikingly paternal. For my honor? Unquestionably. Go and lead your men to safety, soldier. Later tonight I will have some questions for you. I can't wait to see those questions. I hope we get them.
Mhm. Yeah.
Kaladin glanced at Sadeas, who held his new blade with awe. You said you'd take care of Sadeas. This was what you intended? This wasn't taking care of Sadeas, Dalinar said. This was taking care of you and your men. I still have work to do today.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, good. I see this next POV shift. Dalinar speaks with Elhokar. I'm curious if he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
try and talk him away from Sadeas.
Something, I don't know, but it ain't over.
No. Dalinar found King Elhokar in his palace sitting room. Dalinar nodded once more to the guards outside, then closed the door. They seemed troubled, as well they should. His orders had been irregular, but they would do as told. They wore the king's colors, blue and gold, but they were Dalinar's men, chosen specifically for their loyalty. Yes, good. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Never let a Sadeas man within an inch of Elhokar.
Mm-hmm.
The door shut with a snap. The king was staring at one of his maps, wearing his shard plate. Ah, uncle, he said, turning to Dalinar. Good. I had wanted to speak with you. Do you know of these rumors about you and my mother? I realize that nothing untoward could be happening, but I do worry about what people think. So, he
Nice.
has no idea what's going on. No
Wow.
idea.
Dude, like, this is what you want to talk about? Like, did you not hear? Come on now. Wow, how out of touch. It's like nobody's, it's caught rumors about these two being together. Okay, Illico. You know what, like, are you seeing what Navani sees in her son right now?
A
Like, come
little
on
bit,
now.
yeah. There's a war going on out, dude. Dalinar crossed the room, booted feet thumping on the rich rug. Infused diamonds hung in the corners of the room, and the carved walls had been set with tiny chips of quartz to sparkle and reflect the light. Honestly, uncle, Elhokar said, shaking his head, I'm growing very intolerant of your reputation in camp. What they are saying reflects poorly on me, you see, and... Oh, this is not a good start.
Mm-hmm. Is he gonna hit him?
He trailed off as Dalinar stopped about a pace from him. Uncle, is everything all right? My door guards reported some kind of mishap with your plateau assault today, but my mind was full of thoughts. Did I miss anything vital? Yeah, I should
My
say
mind
you
is full of
did.
thoughts. A mishap? Oh yes, a mishap. I lost most of my men. Oh, you,
Yeah.
you out of touch. Ugh.
Yes, Dalinar said. Then he raised his leg and kicked the king in the chest.
Yes, boy.
Whoa!
Yeah, I look.
Tough
He's in
love?
his shard plate, so yeah. But it's like, hey, listen here. I'm your uncle. I need to teach you some things. Let me learn you. This is how
Yeah.
we're learning.
Yeah. The strength of the blow tossed the king backward against his desk. The fine wood shattered as the heavy shard bearer crashed through it. Elhokar hit the floor, his breastplate slightly cracked. Dalinar stepped up to him, then delivered another kick to the king's side, cracking the breastplate again. Elhokar began shouting in panic. Hello, everyone. It seems there was a slight recording mishap with the levels. I know the last several episodes have been a little wonky. I don't know what happened. It used to be that I had everything set up so perfectly and I never had to touch anything. And you move one thing, suddenly it all breaks down. Guards! To me! Guards! Nobody came. Dalinar kicked again, and Elhokar cursed, catching his boot. Dalinar grunted, but bent down and grabbed Elhokar by the arm, then yanked him to his feet, tossing him toward the side of the room. So one, this is either a tough love moment, which I think it should be,
Hmm.
or it's someone pretending to be Dalinar, and I don't think it's that one.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not. We haven't been exposed to that kind of magic. It would be kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we have they'd given him he had given the guys strange orders, which would obviously be ignore the king. But that's
Yeah.
how deep the loyalty is. That's how much of a threat Dalinar is. That's how much sway he has. He can do this. I think
Yeah.
that's another thing that we can see from this is Dalinar is, yeah, sure, he's depleted in terms of men, but he has a lot of weight to throw around, clearly. And yeah, clearly he's in shard plate still.
Yeah. The king stumbled on the rug, crashing through a chair. Round lengths of wood scattered, splinters sprang out. Wide-eyed, Elhokar scrambled to his feet. Dalinar advanced on him. "What has gone wrong with you, uncle?" Elhokar yelled. "You're mad! Guards! Assassin in the king's chamber! Guards!" Elhokar tried to run for the door, but Dalinar threw his shoulder against the king, tossing the younger man to the ground again.
He's being manhandled. Come on now. Sorry, no. This guy's got to have some sort of training. You don't get to just chill if you're the king, man. What's wrong with you? Especially if you got shard plates and everything. Like you should be dueling with Adolin.
Yeah.
You know? You should be training yourself up, boy.
Yep. Elhokar rolled but got a hand under himself and climbed to his knees, the other hand to the side. A puff of mist appeared in it as he summoned his blade. Dalinar kicked the king's hand just as the shard blade dropped into it. The blow knocked the blade free, and it dissolved back to mist immediately. For a second there, I was thinking, oh, he's going to try to get that blade, but no, I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't think
Dalinar
no.
would do that.
Yeah.
Elhokar frantically swung a fist at Dalinar, but Dalinar caught it, then reached down and hauled the king to his feet. He pulled Elhokar forward and slammed his fist into the king's breastplate. Elhokar struggled, but Dalinar repeated the move, smashing his gauntlet against the plate, cracking the steel casings around his fingers, making the king grunt. So, I want to. This is all very exciting, but I want to know what's happening.
You want to know what the meaning is? It's like, well, listen, this is what it's like. You don't come out into battle with us. I don't know, but either way, I don't know what his point is going to be, but I'm just thinking this is what his people go through, and this is what his uncle has gone through, and whatever he never takes a beating. Okay?
Yeah,
And if I wanted to hurt you, this is what I could do. So I don't know. There's some point that's going to be. I think we're going to enjoy it. There's some point he's going to make.
yeah,
And I am just enjoying this. And I suppose he's probably he's going a bit overboard because he is angry with Sadius.
yeah.
He's taking it out on his nephew.
The next blow shattered Elhokar's breastplate in an explosion of molten shards.
One more note. Sorry, I know we want to get there, but one more note. This is just showing how easy it is when a shard plate versus shard plate thing happens. Like he's hit him 1, 2, 3 times. He's kicked him, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and now the plate is already broken. That's freaking insane. Like I'm
Yeah,
just thinking of how many hits he took from the Parshendi and didn't. It didn't shatter. So this is interesting.
yeah. Maybe Dalinar's like gonna use this to illustrate. I'm gonna teach you how to fight. You're gonna start
Mhm.
joining me on bridge runs or on
Mhm.
battles, assaults, plateau assaults. The next blow shattered Elhokar's breastplate in an explosion of molten shards. Dalinar dropped the king to the floor. Elhokar struggled to rise again, but the breastplate was a focus for the shard plate's power. Losing it left arms and legs heavy. He went to one knee beside the squirming king. Elhokar's shard blade formed again, but Dalinar grabbed the king's wrist and smashed it against the stone floor, knocking the blade free yet again. It vanished into mist. "Guards!" Elhokar squealed. "Guards! Guards! Guards!" "They won't come, Elhokar," Dalinar said softly. "They're my men, and I left them with orders not to enter, or let anyone else enter, no matter what they heard, even if that included pleas for help from you." So that's a dangerous thing for Dalinar to be saying,
Mhm.
because it could mean, assuming Elhokar lives through this, he
Mhm.
never trusts Dalinar's men again.
Yeah, he would. But I think what he's yes, there's definitely that possibility. But I think what Dalinar is trying to do here is to show they are loyal to me, or I have power.
Not to Elhokar.
Yeah, not to you. You have not earned this. The
Yeah.
I am part of why you are in power. Remember
Yeah.
that. If you
Yes.
without me, somebody could do this.
Now, and I think Dalinar is hopefully going to try and teach Alucard that he needs to inspire loyalty, not
Hmm.
use other men's loyalty.
Yeah. And not be dependent on Sadius, dependent on Dalinar, or whatever. He needs to be a good enough man on his own because what if Dalinar died?
Yeah,
Dalinar died, like that's it. Like this needs to you need to be a good king, Illicar. You can't just sit on your ass and depend on everybody and then depend on Adolin and just depend on other people to be better men.
yeah. I wonder if this lesson would be better served with having Navani in the corner. Nah,
Mm.
probably not. Maybe. I don't
I
know.
don't know, but yeah, it's the paranoia is just gonna be like, well, I hope he's smart enough to realize that this is not what Dalinar is not trying to kill him here. That
Correct.
it's this is a lesson, and
Yeah.
yeah, just I hope he takes what Dalinar is trying to put down for him.
Yeah. Elhokar fell silent. They are my men, Elhokar, Dalinar repeated. I trained them. I placed them there. They've always been loyal to me. Why, uncle? What are you doing? Please tell me. He was nearly weeping. Dalinar leaned down, getting close enough to smell the king's breath. The girth on your horse during the hunt, Dalinar said quietly. You cut it yourself, didn't you? Elhokar's eyes grew
Ooh,
wider. Ah, I almost called
that
it.
is that
I
is true. No,
theorized
you
it.
did yeah, you did theorize it, and it makes sense that him knowing who did it. That is it. That's what you take from it. The fact that he knew
Yeah.
it wasn't Dalinar and he knew it wasn't Sadeas. When you're paranoid that way, you think everyone's done it. But you know? How do you know? And why are you not telling people if you think if you have a
Mm-hmm.
suspect?
Yep.
That makes so much sense. And and you know what? Screw that. Look what you exposed everyone to by doing that. What were you trying to do?
Yeah.
Oh, he deserves this beating. He's full of crap.
Yep.
Also, because he's getting beaten with shard plate on, okay? He's not, like, losing teeth and no, yeah.
Yeah. Elhokar's eyes grew wider. The saddles were switched before you came to my camp, Dalinar said. You did that because you didn't want to ruin your favorite saddle when it flew free of the horse. You were planning for it to happen. You made it happen. That's why you've been so certain that the girth was cut. Cringing,
Sorry,
Elhokar
but
nodded.
sorry. Sorry, that's so hilarious. He didn't wanna ruin his favorite saddle to do his whole plan. Wow. Bougie, bougie boy.
Yeah. Cringing, Elhokar nodded. Someone was trying to kill me, but you wouldn't believe. I worried it might be you, so I decided I. You cut your own strap, Dalinar said, to create a visible, obvious-seeming attempt on your life, something that would get me or Sadeas to investigate. Elhokar hesitated, then nodded again. I mean, considering he sees the Shalon people, the geometry heads, I don't blame
Mhm.
him, but Dalinar doesn't believe him, so I do feel really bad for Elhokar right now.
He's not handled it very well. Okay?
Yeah. Dalinar closed his eyes, breathing out slowly. Don't you realize what you did, Elhokar? You brought suspicion on me from across the camps. You gave Sadeas an opportunity to destroy me. He opened his eyes, looking down at the king. I had to know, Elhokar whispered. I couldn't trust anyone. He groaned beneath Dalinar's weight. What of the cracked gemstones in your shard plate? Did you place those too? No. Then maybe you did uncover something, Dalinar said with a grunt. I guess you can't be completely blamed. Then you'll let me up? No. Dalinar leaned down further. He laid his hand against the king's chest. Elhokar stopped struggling, looking up in terror. If I push, Dalinar said, you die. Your ribs crack like twigs. Your heart is smashed like a grape. Nobody would blame me. They all whisper that the Blackthorn should have taken the throne for himself years ago. Your guard is loyal to me. There would be nobody to avenge you. Nobody would care. He's really going hard on this lesson. I'm kind of here
Mhm.
for it.
Yeah, he needs this. And yeah, it's he would never be that the Blackthorn in that way and take power and all of that. No. He would rather
Yeah.
build up his nephew.
Yes. Elhokar breathed as Dalinar pressed his hand down just slightly. Do you understand? Dalinar asked quietly. No!
Mhm. Of course not, he's dumb.
Dalinar sighed, then released the younger man and stood up. Elhokar inhaled with a gasp. Your paranoia may be unfounded, Dalinar said, or it may be well-founded. Either way, you need to understand something. I am not your enemy. Elhokar frowned. So you're not going to kill me? Storms, no. I love you like a son, boy. That's sweet.
Mhm.
Elhokar rubbed his chest. You have very odd paternal instincts. I spent years following you, Dalinar said. I gave you my loyalty, my devotion, and my counsel. I swore myself to you, promised myself, vowing to myself that I would never covet Gavilar's throne. All to keep my heart loyal. Despite this, you don't trust me. You pull a stunt like that one with the girth, implicating me, giving your own enemies position against you without knowing it. Yes, good.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him off.
Yeah. Yeah, and just realize again, it's a whole thing of yes, realize how much you rely on me, because I can come in and kill you if I wanted, but also I could kill you if I wanted, but I haven't. Think about that,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
It is like I haven't for many, many years. Look at what I've done, you moron. Why would I suddenly turn on you? I'm your uncle. Like, I'm trying to help you.
Yep. I really hope at some point Dalinar says, and Sadeas cannot be trusted, by the way.
Mm.
I don't know that he will, but it would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Dalinar stepped toward the king. Elhokar cringed. Well, now you know, Dalinar said, voice hard. If I'd wanted to kill you, Elhokar, I could have done it 12 times over, 100 times over. It appears you won't accept loyalty and devotion as proof of my honesty. Well, if you act like a child, you get treated like one. You know now, for a fact, that I don't want you dead. For if I did, I would have crushed your chest and been done with it. He locked eyes with the king. Now, Dalinar said, do you understand? Slowly, Elhokar nodded.
There
Nice.
we go. Mm-hmm.
This is cathartic, I think.
Yeah, this is cathartic, and it's in so many ways because yeah, we do have this frustration with Edakar building in the background. The fact that we have to the main story is with Dalinar essentially. We don't have the king doing kingly things. And just like for Dalinar as well, it's just so frustrating for them. He's finally having the conversation they need to have. Yeah, you need this to be as hard hitting as possible so it really gets through to him, gets through his paranoia, really makes him trust his uncle.
Yeah. Good, Dalinar said. Tomorrow you're going to name me High Prince of War. Nice! What? Sadeas betrayed me today. Yes! So glad it came out. Sadeas betrayed me today, Dalinar said. He walked over to the broken desk, kicking at the pieces. The king's seal rolled out of its customary drawer. He picked it up. Nearly 6,000 of my men were slaughtered. Adolin and I barely survived. What? Elhokar said, forcing himself up to a sitting position. That's impossible! Far from it, Dalinar said, looking at his nephew. He saw a chance to pull out, letting the Parshendi destroy us, so he did it. A very Alethi thing to do. Ruthless, yet still allowing him to feign a sense of honor or morality. So, you expect me to bring him to trial? No. Sadeas is no worse and no better than the others. Any of the High Princes would betray their fellows if they saw a chance to do it without risking themselves. I intend to find a way to unite them in more than just name. Somehow. Tomorrow, once you name me High Prince of War, I will give my plate to Renarin to fulfill a promise. I've already given away my blade to fulfill a different one. Oh, that's sweet.
Wow. Yeah. So he's really doing a succession plan over here. Like
Yes.
I'm gonna step back and strategize and whatever.
He's going to live
Yeah.
like the common man, so to speak. By
But
which I mean take that lesson from the Way of Kings.
yeah, true. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he's going to do that, and we're going to get good things. I also
Mm-hmm.
love that he's doing promises and things. He's this near death experience has changed him as well, and also the uniting them in more than name. I don't know how he's going to do that, but I'm here for it. Let's go.
Yeah. He walked closer, meeting Elhokar's eyes again, then gripped the king's seal in his hand. As High Prince of War, I will enforce the codes in all 10 camps. Then I'll coordinate the war effort directly, determining which armies get to go on which plateau assaults. All gem hearts will be won by the throne, then distributed as spoils by you. We'll change this from a competition to a real war, and I'll use it to turn those 10 armies of ours and their leaders into real soldiers. Stormfather, they'll kill us! The High Princes will revolt! I won't last a week! They won't be pleased, that's for certain, Dalinar said. And yes, this will involve a great deal of danger. We'll have to be much more careful with our guard. If you're right, someone is already trying to kill you, so we should be doing that anyway.
There you go. You got your belief, Elakar.
Yeah, makes sense, and if you pull it off, it'll be very stable in the long run, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna take a while, but it would. And yes, also helps your freaking war effort that you're not just all in perpetual competition with each other and whatever. It's an actual war of us against them, not us over here against them over there against them. Like unite.
Yes. Elakar stared at him, then looked at the broken furniture rubbing his chest. You're serious, aren't you? Yes, he tossed the seal to Elakar. You're going to have your scribes draw up my appointment right after I leave. But I thought you said it was wrong to force men to follow the codes, Elakar said. You said that the best way to change people was to live right, and then let them be influenced by your example. That was before the Almighty lied to me, Dalinar said. He still didn't know what to think of that. Yeah, that's a big thing to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not sure that the voice is the Almighty, but he's just like it's sent from the Almighty in some way. It's allowed by the Almighty in some way.
Yeah,
So yeah, but then yeah, he's learned a lesson in the same sort of way that like Elend learns this sort of lesson where the ideal it doesn't always materialize in that way. So
yeah.
yeah, you might have to use some sort of force. People aren't going to be great by themselves.
Yeah. Much of what I told you I learned from the Way of Kings, but I didn't understand something. Noadon wrote the book at the end of his life, after creating order, after forcing the kingdoms to unite, after rebuilding lands that had fallen in the desolation. The book was written to embody an ideal. It was given to people who already had momentum in doing what was right. That was my mistake. Before any of this can work, our people need to have a minimum level of honor and dignity. Adolin said something to me a few weeks back, something profound. He asked me why I forced my sons to live up to such high expectations, but let others go about their errant ways without condemnation. I have been treating the other high princes and their light eyes like adults. An adult can take a principle and adapt it to his needs, but we're not ready for that yet. We're children, and when you're teaching a child, you require him to do what is right until he grows old enough to make his own choices. The Silver Kingdoms didn't begin as unified, glorious bastions of honor. They were trained that way, raised up like youths, nurtured to maturity. Fair logic.
Oh, so beautiful. Really beautiful that this is the lesson he takes from the ideal. Like what an ideal, what's the function of an ideal? It's not it doesn't just materialize out of nowhere. It takes work.
Yeah, very much so. And you need to have a genuine honor culture. He strode forward, kneeling down beside Elakar. The king continued to rub his chest, his shard plate looking strange with the central piece missing. We're going to make something of Alethkar, nephew, Dalinar said softly. The High Princes gave their oaths to Gavilar, but now ignore those oaths. Well, it's time to stop letting them. We're going to win this war, and we're going to turn Alethkar into a place that men will envy again. Not because of our military prowess, but because people here are safe, and because justice reigns. We're going to do it, or you and I are going to die in the attempt. Great line, but
Hmm.
I imagine a little bit of humor in the idea of Dalinar dragging Elakar toward honor like a child.
Yeah, literally. But I think it's a good journey for him to go on.
Yeah. You say that with eagerness. Because I finally know exactly what to do, Dalinar said, standing up straight. I was trying to be Noadon the Peacemaker, but I'm not. I'm the Blackthorn, a general and a warlord. I have no talent for backroom politicking, but I am very good at training troops. Starting tomorrow, every man in each of these camps will be mine. As far as I'm concerned, they're all raw recruits, even the High Princes. Assuming I make the proclamation, don't you talk back, Elakar.
Elakar, do you not? Bro, are you a goldfish? Okay.
Assuming I make the proclamation. You will, Dalinar said, and in return, I promise to find out who is trying to kill you. Good. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do.
I believe you. You can trust me. You're not alone. You're
Yeah.
still
Of course,
yeah.
Elakar, you're going to have to come out and say they have
Mm-hmm.
geometry heads and they only appear in mirrors.
Yeah, and say that in
Or whatever.
view of someone who has gone to Shadesmar or something.
Yeah. Elakar snorted, beginning to remove his shard plate piece by piece. After that announcement goes out, discovering who's trying to kill me will become easy. You can put every name in the war camps on the list.
Sorry, I love how you're playing him. He's like a spoiled brat.
Thank you. It's growing on me. I'm getting used to it. Dalinar's smile widened. At least we won't have to guess then. Don't be so glum, nephew. You learned something today. Your uncle doesn't want to kill you. He just wants to make me a target. For your own good, son, Dalinar said, walking to the door. Don't fret too much. I've got some plans on how exactly to keep you alive. He opened the door, revealing a nervous group of guards keeping at bay a nervous group of servants and attendants. Oh, is he going to give Kaladin like an offer, like you become Kingsguard?
Something, I don't know. He's not going to be a slave.
Yeah. He opened the door, revealing a nervous group of guards keeping at bay a nervous group of servants and attendants. He's just fine, Dalinar said to them. See? He stepped aside, letting the guards and servants in to attend their king. Dalinar turned to go. Then he hesitated. Oh, and Elakar? Your mother and I are now courting. You'll want to start growing accustomed to that.
Yeah, it's a good. It's you. You do need to mention that. I mean, it was the first thing that he brought up. So yeah,
Yeah,
get used to it. We, all of that beating and stuff applied.
yeah,
So just deal with it.
yep. Very cinematic line there.
Mhm. Also, what's cool for Elakar? Yeah, Elakar, you found out that he wants to put a target on me. Yeah, but you've got the Blackthorn protecting you, boy. Let's
Yeah,
let's remember that.
yep. Despite everything else that had happened in the last few minutes, this got a look of pure astonishment from the king. Dalinar smiled and pulled the door closed, walking away with a firm step. Most everything was still wrong. He was still furious at Sadeas, pained by the loss of so many of his men, confused at what to do with Navani, dumbfounded by his visions, and daunted by the idea of bringing the war camps to unity. But at least now he had something to work with.
Bum, bum, bum.
End chapter.
End part as well.
End part.
End
Yes.
part 4.
Whew.
Damn, very good.
A very cathartic chapter.
Mm-hmm. Very much what do you call it? Worthy of a blind. A long one,
Yes.
but still worthy of a blind. Loved it.
Yep. Did not have Dalinar gives his shard blade to Sadeas on my bingo card.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love that we didn't call that one.
Yeah. Whew. I've got to let that one simmer, guys.
Mm-hmm. Expect long intro in the next the next
Yo.
episode.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. Subscribe to that darn Kita if you get a chance, because she's got a great channel.
And subscribe to this channel because you know it's great.
It would be tremendously appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, thanks, bye.